Hello friends, good morning. Welcome to my channel Essentials of Management. Today we are going to continue with the management tutorial series. We will have discourse 2 or the tutorial 2, which is about nature and the characteristics of the management. So last time we looked into the definition of the management and we tried to understand the meaning of the management. Today we will try to understand its nature and characteristics. There are many, and so we will look into it one by one. And all the characteristics which are explained here are very simple. There is no much to explain about it. We will just go sentence by sentence about the different characteristics. Management is a process. It is not static. It is a continuous process. So it is a process of getting things done through the efforts of people in the organization. Last time in the definition we have seen that management is essentially getting work done from the people, and it is an organized effort. It involves planning, organizing, directing and controlling. That's why we call it as a process. It means that every manager needs to plan his activities, systematically organize in the sense with the human resource as well as organize the other resources which are required. Provide clear direction, so he has to lead, motivate, give direction to the people, and exercise necessary controls if required. So if he needs to exercise controls on the activities of the subordinate who are working under him, then he is supposed to exercise controls, supposed to supervise them closely and motivate them towards achieving the goals. So management is essentially a human endeavor. Second characteristics. All managerial functions or decision making is essentially done by humans and not robots or computers, because you know it is an organized effort, and when we have defined organization, it is made up of human beings. It is not made up of machines or robots or computers. Computers can help managers to take better decisions but cannot replace managers. Management is a group activity. So whenever we say organization, when we say 2 or more than 2 people come together, so ultimately it is a group. So it is a group activity. Management involves coordinated efforts of all managers and their subordinates. So there are, in a big organization, there are more number of managers at more number of levels, at different levels. Every manager has got his subordinates. So it is a total coordination of all the managers at all the levels and their subordinates. It is a teamwork that brings success to the organization. We will talk about teamwork later on. A single individual, however capable and intelligent, can hardly deliver results without the support and cooperation of others in the organization. So it is an organized effort, so it cannot be an individual effort. Even if some cases for some individual objectives you can do the efforts, but as far as the enterprise is concerned, then it is a group activity, and so a single person cannot achieve the success. He has to go along with the people. He has to take the support and cooperation of the people and achieve the goals. For example, a production manager cannot achieve success without the active cooperation of his subordinates as well as the support of finance and procurement department. If a production department do not get the material in time, what he will do? He will have a loss of production. If the finance is not given, so material is not arranged, so what production manager will do? He has to stop the production activity. So there is a coordination. It is a group activity. Management is a result oriented activity. So management is not only management's sake. There is certain purpose behind it. You have to achieve the results. So it is a result oriented activity. Management is a systematic and purposeful activity. So there is a purpose behind it whenever you are doing certain management. Its aim is to achieve certain goals or results. It is always action based. So managers are supposed to be continuously active and keep on taking the different actions to achieve goals and results. What matters are not just activities but results. As I said in the starting, it is not management for the management's sake or activity for the activity's sake. Our aim or our purpose is to get the results. Management is intangible. That is, we cannot see management the way we can't see wind, isn't it? But its presence can be felt or noticed only in the form of results. The way we feel the wind when you are moving out in a hot summer and a breeze comes, you feel very happy, cool. So same is the case with the management. We can't see it, but we can see it through its results. So what are the results? If you get higher productivity and efficiency, if there is a disciplined workforce, there is a cooperation and cordial relation, we can see the presence of managers, good or bad, but not the management. As I gave you the example of wind, you can't see it, but you can feel it or experience it. Management is all pervasive. Management is an activity that touches all walks of life. So it is not only for the business enterprises, but it is for all walks of life. We have to have management in our individual life also, discipline in our individual life also. So it is applicable not only to business organization, but also to other organizations such as educational institute, means colleges, institutes, charitable trust or social organization. There are many social organization, big organization having lakhs of members, and unless otherwise they are managed properly, they cannot function. Then NGOs, and as I said, even to the individual activities. Management is dynamic, not static in nature. So it is an activity. So it's a dynamic thing. It is not static that you are just having the position and sitting there and doing nothing. The ideas and concepts of management as well as the approaches are continuously changing. We saw in the first tutorial that it is continuously evolving. The management science or the knowledge of the management is continuously evolving. Every day some new social scientist, management scientist come forward with his new theory, and every day the management activity and the approach to the management is changing in the business world. Managers need to be innovative and creative. It's very important. Managers are supposed to be innovative and creative. They are supposed to think continuously how he can or she can improve whatever the work he or she is doing, and what new things he or she can bring in. Managerial decisions taken by one manager cannot be copied easily by other or repeated. So when we will look into management as an art and science, we will discuss further about it. Same manager can take new decisions depending upon the situation. So decisions taken are situation dependable and manager dependable. A manager A takes certain action, he is successful, but manager B may not be successful with the same action because his situations are different. So decisions are the product of the situation. Management needs to follow certain well established principles. So we talk about the principles of management, right? So managers at all levels need to follow certain well established principles. We will talk about the 14 principles given by the Henry Fayol. This includes division of work, delegation of authority. So there has to be division of work, there has to be delegation of authority. You can't, everything you can't do on your own, you have to delegate the work to other people. So you have to assign the responsibility and delegate the authority. Then there has to be discipline, then unity of command and direction. We will discuss it when we will discuss the principles. These are the guidelines based on universal observations and are applicable universally. That's why it is called as a social science. Managers need to follow them if they want to be successful. So if you want to be successful as a manager, if you have the successful management, then you have to follow these principles of management. Henry Fayol provided a systematic list of 14 principles of management based on his own experience in his book published in 1916. Management is art as well as science. We just discussed in the last slide that it is the manager specific, it is the situation specific. That's why it is called as art. So it is art because managers adopt individual approaches to handle situation or solve the problems. So every manager think differently for a same problem with the same situation. So in a very similar situation with same resources, manager A may succeed and manager B may fail in spite of his best efforts. So there are two managers. One manager succeeds in the same situation and with the same problem, but manager B may fail. Why? Because management is an art. The way manager A dealt with the problem, the way he took the support of other people, motivated them, and so he got the success, and manager B didn't get the success because probably he might have not motivated the people, he might have not consulted and got the cooperation of the others. This shows that managers require the art of managing people. So how to get the work done from the people, how to extract work from the people. So this is the art. Managers need to be innovative and creative, and they have to adopt individual approach to handle situation, and there is no scope of copying. Very, very important. You just can take the guidelines from the different examples. You can learn from the different examples of the past, but you just can't copy it as it is. Again, you have to individually think about the present situation and then apply the solutions. Management is art as well as science. Now, science is a systematic body of knowledge which is universally accepted. Management can be treated as a science or a social science in that sense, as manager at all levels need to follow certain well-established principles. We discussed that. Process of management is universally followed. So it is followed in all nook and corners of the world. Maybe in America, maybe in Japan, maybe in India. Everywhere the same principles are followed. Managers in all organizations, whether large or small, and at all levels follow this process. We have seen what is the process. That planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and so on. All managers need to plan, need to organize, to direct and control their activity. It is said that when you learn management, it is a science. But when you practice it or apply the principles of management to actually manage the affairs, it is an art. So as a knowledge, as a subject, it is a science. When you learn it, it is a science. But when you apply it practically on the shop floor, it is an art. Management need not be ownership. So it is not the case that the managers should be owners themselves. So owners can be managers, but managers may not be owners. So for managing organizations, professionals and highly qualified management personnel are hired from outside. So in today's world, the CEOs of the company or the managing directors or CTOs or CFOs are very, very highly qualified people, very, very experienced and expert people from their respective domain. So people from outside, experts from outside, professionals from outside are hired. They manage and run the affairs of the company on behalf of the real owners, that is shareholders. In case of the public limited companies or public corporations, there are shareholders who are the real owners. In some companies, they may be a individual owner or individual family, or a family or an individual may have the maximum shareholding in that company. However, in small organization, owners themselves undertake management activities. In our country, there is still a predominance of family managed companies. Now they are public limited, and as I said that they are holding say more than 50% of shares in that particular company, and so the family manages that company. Okay. Management adopts professional approach. Management possesses most features of profession. That's why people are called as professional, such as the need to have expert knowledge in a particular discipline. As I said, you must have the knowledge of that your domain or discipline, and the actions of managers are governed by an ethical code of conduct. Mind well, it is very, very important to learn and keep in mind that managers are supposed to be governed by ethical code of conduct. They have to follow it. They can't do anything and everything or anything wrong to achieve the success or gain the profits. They are supposed to be work in the guideline or in the light of the ethical code of conduct. However, there is no need for a license or permission to practice as a manager, which is required in case of professions like lawyer or a medical practitioner. So any doctor who wants to do the practice, he has to register, right? So that is called as RMO, that is register medical, RMP, register medical practitioner. Or lawyer also has to get the sanad, and if you get the sanad, then and only then you can plead in the courts. But that is not the case with managers. They may not be qualified, they may not have a knowledge of the discipline of the management, but still they can be managers, but their approach has to be professional. So anybody can be a manager without having academic qualifications of management. Very good examples from our country are J.R.D. Tata and Ghanshyam Das Birla, G.D. Birla, right? So these were the various characteristics of the management we discussed. So thank you for watching, friends. Resume viewing and you can switch on to discourse 3, where we will discuss need and significance of management. Friends, please do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a good day.